All right, what's up, Jellyheads? We're trying something new today with our first ever video chat with some Jellystone staff. I'm joined on Zoom here by Ben Tucker, the Activities Director at Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park at Kozy Rest in Harrisville, Pennsylvania. Alex Burkett, Marketing Director and Office Administrator at Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park, Akron, Canton, and Uniontown, Ohio. And Brittany Peck, Recreation Director at Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park, Gloucester Point in Hayes, Virginia. Ben, Alex, Brittany, thanks for joining us. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you, Phil?
I'm doing well.
Doing good.
Staying busy. I think we're all kind of on our toes right now.
Well, yeah, to say this has been an unusual camping season thus far would be an understatement. So which Jellystones are open varies from place to place. Different levels of modifications and restrictions are in place at those that are. And then Ben, Kozy Rest, I think you guys have probably been fully open the longest. It's been, I think we're going on a week and a half or something like that.
Yeah, we opened May 1st.
May 1st,
so
okay.
About a week and a half. So got the okay from the Pennsylvania governor like literally 2 Mondays ago, and kind of like that mad rush Brittany was just talking about, we're scrambling, trying to get everything ready to go, and open May 1st. So now we're 2 weeks in, and or 2 weekends in, and going on our 3rd week.
So can you tell us a little bit about what your campers right now are able to access, and then maybe what's offline, at least for now?
Yeah, so we were actually just talking about this in our meeting this morning, and luckily we have more things that are open than closed, and we kind of went over a list of everything, so I'll kind of read down some of the things that we've got going. So all of our full service cabins are open that have the restroom and stuff like that, because unfortunately our restrooms that are out in the park are closed, so no tent sites, no yurts or anything like that, no pop-up camping, but all full hookups. As long as you've got a bathroom, you can come. We've got our picnic basket that we just put in this year, so just started doing pizza and wings, so can always come and get those wings. Our mini golf, we're allowing people to play basically just by family. So they'll come, they'll check out the equipment, they'll have their own time on the mini golf course, keeps everybody spread out on that. But we've got basketball and gaga ball if you bring your own equipment. And then we've still got a bunch of scheduled activities that we're still doing. We've got our laser tag, we've just limited our games, cut them in half to 10. And then gym mining, we're only opening a certain time on Saturday to allow the staff to clean. So most of our amenities are more than half of our amenities are still open. No train rides, no hay rides, fire truck rides, anything like that. And then also all the restrooms are closed and no tent sites.
So Brittany, Gloucester Point's been open for long-term stays. You're opening for short-term stays beginning Friday. What sort of adjustments are you guys making?
So this will allow us to open up a lot of our cabins and stuff will be available. We are allowing some tent camps and stuff like that. We do have one of our bathhouses that we have kept open through this. We kept it open all winter, everything. It's connected with our laundry and everything. So it's just part of that, keeping things easy and keeping people a little bit used to what's available as much as possible. We're looking at doing some of the train rides, but we're going to do them on a sign up basis. So you'll sign up for your time slot, you'll get your time slot, and then we'll have a gap for us to clean everything down in between. We're going to have our gem mining available. Also only one family at a time. You'll have to come in and get your bag of hay dirt and get your mining sluice, so to say, and take that out there and then bring that back in for us to sanitize them all over again. We have allowed and are going to keep doing ceramics kits that we are doing that will deliver to the site. So with that, you get to pick 5 different paint colors. We'll give you the paint brushes. It all comes to your site with you, so you can do all of that within your comfort. You don't have to interact with a bunch of people. So as much as we can to keep everybody as comfortable as possible is absolutely important. We have a lot of limitations for what we're allowed to do as far as our sporting sides of things, especially. We can't do any basketball at all. We had to take our net down for volleyball. So none of that's allowed. But as we go through this, whenever we get to the next phase, we'll readjust everything again. We are doing boat rentals and stuff like that will be available with increased cleanliness, as well as increased cleanliness on our life vests. And we had to essentially remove all additional seating out of our rec center. So our rec center is only going to have a couple tables with a set number of chairs at each table. And if there's not a chair open, no one is allowed to come into the rec center at that time. So we're really just got to watch the numbers mostly for a lot of what we're doing. We did kind of do an adaptation of something Kozy Rest did the other weekend with the drive-by dance party. So we're going to do that with the Bears this weekend. So just a lot of new things for us this year, for sure.
And those drive-by dance parties, Phil, have been super popular for us. Like she mentioned, we do ours at 8 o'clock, and we just throw our speaker on the cart, and then the kids dance at their site. But Brittany, we actually, this weekend, I'll try to post it onto the care page, but we had probably 25 bikes that were following behind us that were like, it turned into a bike parade.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, so just be ready for that. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're gonna hook our hayride up, and we're gonna have the Bears up on the hayride and have our speakers up there and have the Bears dancing as we drive by, so they can still get that little bit of extra experience with the Bears.
I like it.
We're hoping it goes over well, like yours.
Alex, if you can jump in here, you're only open to seasonal campers right now, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And what sort of, obviously makes it a little easier if you're just for seasonal, but what sort of restrictions have you guys had in place?
So as you mentioned, we opened for seasonal camping about a week and a half ago. Since then, we've kind of opened in a very limited operation, and we haven't really had a ton of facilities or amenities to offer. Our ranger station and camp store is still open, so any guest service needs or any store purchases can still be made. We did take extra precaution with setting up social distancing measures and then health and safety measures as well. Been working really hard with our activities director, Brittany, different Brittany, but to develop an activities program that incorporates a lot of those mobile site visits and craft packs, as Brittany was describing as well, so that campers can still do the activities together as a family. We've also been doing a lot of what I would call to-do videos of how to make stuff up so that can be sent to the campers so that it minimizes the physical interaction again. But our activities director, Brittany, has done an amazing job just planning these and just trying to deliver a really good guest experience. We are planning to hear either today or tomorrow from Governor Mike DeWine of Ohio when we are going to be reopening for overnight camping and then some of the amenities at the park. So we're projecting a date of May 15th as well, this Friday, but it could go until the end of May. But we're very optimistic to open before Memorial Day.
Sure. And you've each sort of touched on some of these, I guess we'd call them new or adjusted activities. I think we heard about the dance party. Is there anything else? We'll start with you, Alex, that you guys either have done or have planned in terms of some of these things that are either remote, virtual, or just done in a different fashion.
Right. So I discussed the craft packs, which is a similar idea to what Brittany discussed, either making up sort of ceramic kits or other sort of fun kits that align with our themed weekends. So even though we're not open for overnight camping, we still want our seasonal campers and their kids to experience the themed weekends just as they normally would run. So we've been looking at doing that. Earlier in the season, we hosted what's called a virtual campout, which was essentially on National Outdoor Backyard Camping Day. Was a weird holiday, but we participated in that, and our guests were able to use their tents or use any sort of their RV at home and do an at-home campout. So make s'mores, have movies, and it was a really fun time to see our community come together and still camp out together, but with everybody in different places. And then we've been hosting once weekly a live craft show with our activities director, Brittany. And she's been doing live demo activities that used materials that you can find at home. So something that won't cost a lot of money, but will keep the kids entertained and still can experience fun activities even while we're apart.
Sure. How about with Kozy Rest, Ben?
So we talked about it a little bit with the drive-by dance party. That's a thing that was normally just, I mean, that's a social distancing activity, but it's been so popular. We're going to keep that going probably throughout the whole year because people seem to really enjoy it. Probably the biggest thing that we've been doing is candy bar bingo is my favorite thing to call and run, but that's normally we have people of 100, 150 people inside of our rec building. So we've now turned our candy bar bingo into Facebook Live candy bar bingo. So we'll go around, our bingo's at 7 o'clock. So starting around 6:15, we'll go around to the campground, pass out just throwaway bingo cards. We'll give them Fruit Loops to use as their markers. So that's basically an after dinner snack after bingo. And we'll just do Facebook Live bingo. It's every Saturday night. It's actually been really popular. It's been a little bit weird. The transition, obviously, because you're doing it online, you're calling the numbers, typing them in, but you kind of have to go a little bit slower to make sure people have time to type in that they've got a bingo. They just type back their numbers, we verify it, and after we're done, we go around to their sites and hand out the candy bars so they still get the candy bars. Another thing that we've done is our campground carpool karaoke. And so basically we get a speaker and we go around to the sites, and if people are sitting out, we just ask them if they have a song they want us to play on the radio or on the boombox. We'll play it and they'll just start singing from their site. Doing something like that has been real popular. The first week, I think we heard Baby Shark 4 times, and this past weekend we heard it 3 times. So we know what the most popular song is for every thing, and we've had a lot of fun with that, and people just have a blast because they're just singing at their own site, so they're not even embarrassing themselves in front of other people. They're embarrassing themselves in front of their family. So carpool karaoke has been a popular thing. The candy bar bingo has definitely been adjusted. I mentioned it earlier. Our laser tag games have been revised. We've cut our time slots into half just to allow people to spread out on the field to keep that number under 10. And then I know that Brittany mentioned it, Alex has mentioned it as well, but all of our crafts that they would normally do in the rec building with their family, we just basically are asking one person to come pick up those crafts. They take it back to their site. Same thing with ceramics, the 4 paints, pick them up, take it back to the site, give them a throwaway brush. The paint they can keep if they want it, just throw it out because it's just so tough to clean with all of that stuff. So that way it's just literally we have the gloves whenever we prep it, and then they take it, and then no more touch points at that point.
And Brittany, any other sort of creative, physically distant activities going on at Gloucester Point?
We've been doing an activities packet, so we actually did it the weekend before we had to officially close down. We were still open and the whole COVID thing was going on. So it was gearing up. So we did an activities packet that weekend, and it was basically some coloring pages with the bears and some fun activities like scavenger hunts, directions for the crafts, and then we put the crafts in little baggies so they can just take whichever craft they're going to do at that time, and they can do that craft, and they just get all of that when they come in. This week we're actually going to have one of our crafts that are going to be delivered by the bear, so everyone will have to meet us outside their site, and the bear will drop their craft off to them. We also doing Sunday morning, we're doing a picture and letter pickup for the bears, because we've been doing letter reading by the bears every weekend. So that'll give us a little more to use for our Facebook Live on Sunday, and then it gets the kids, they get to see their artwork put up in the Bears Den. Obviously, we're doing the birthdays. Those are a really big hit. Outside of that, we've been really working on increasing our social media presence with sharing videos and posts from other blogs and stuff like that. We're doing a superhero collection this weekend, which is a little different. It's going to be like a scavenger hunt, but each place they go to, there's going to be a staff member there that hands them a random superhero card, and at the end they'll have their collection of their superhero team. So that was kind of our way of giving that extra tie-in for our superhero takeover weekend, because we are still trying to cater to our themes as much as possible. We're doing a Let's Make a Deal with a Bear, where they get to essentially, we hold up 2 bags. One bag is going to be something really cool. One bag is going to be something not so cool. Could be a bag, a balloon, who knows? But they'll just get to look at them and pick which one, and then take it with them. And we'll get to see the kids, and they'll get to see the bear. And while they're not interacting directly with them, they'll still get that little bit of extra interaction with them. We're also doing a Facebook Live marble race this week, so I'm kind of excited to see how that one pans out.
So you mentioned the birthdays, and that was going on even when you guys, I think, I don't know if you were ever fully closed or not, but how exactly did that come about? And then I'm curious, do you have any idea how many birthdays you've now celebrated on your Facebook page?
I don't. So actually, a lot of our campground owners, their kids are largely involved with a lot of what's going on here at our park. And they run like sections of the park specifically. Each of them do. So all 3 of them have been really involved with those birthdays and helping get all of those planned and making sure that nobody gets missed. So we want to make sure that while all of these kids are getting these birthdays, they still get to feel special, because we know a lot of our park members came to celebrate their birthdays with us. So this way they'll still get that. And I think that's kind of where it originated, was just thinking about the fact of how many people usually come to celebrate their birthdays with us, and we're going to miss out on that. And I know we had a lot of kids that would come every year, so we didn't want to make them miss this year fully, so they still would get that little bit of added interaction. I know it's been a lot of videos, but yes. I'm not quite sure.
I envision it being sort of like, because I know they're posted, throughout the day, but in my head, I'm envisioning it sort of how like game shows film, right? And that you guys are doing like 25 of these in a row, just back to back to back to back. There's so many coming out. Yeah.
They do. They definitely do add up. But it gives our bears a chance to say happy birthday to their friends too, and they're missing getting to celebrate with everybody. So
yeah, that was a great job on the birthday. I mean, like, we saw it, and then we did one before we even opened. We did all of our birthdays one day, and it was like a 20-minute video, and it was like a list of like 75 kids, and by the end I was blowing that thing and I had no energy left on. Yogi was tired from holding up the sign, but we saw it from you guys, and you guys did a great job, and we were like, man, we need to do something. And so we just tried to combine them all into one 20-minute video, but we should have broke it up kind of how you did, because we were exhausted by the time we listened to everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely a little easier when you have that one at a time, because you can group them up and you can do them as you get the requests in. So then when the time comes, you're not like week of, you have maybe 25 birthdays, you're not doing 25 birthdays in one day.
Ben, what are some of the things that you guys have done to keep people engaged online, like folks that maybe haven't been able to come out when you guys weren't open, or just people who have, not been able to follow through on their vacation plans?
Yeah, so we started it probably in March, mainly because I'm used to working at a year-round park where I just want to do stuff. I don't like this whole park being closed, so I was starting to get stir crazy anyways, and then the world shuts down. And so probably about the middle of March, whenever COVID was just starting to pick up, our owner said, hey, why don't you not do something over Facebook Live? And I'm not a huge Facebook Live fan because you can't actually see the people or interact. And he was like, well, you could do a Zoom call. So what we did was we did a lunch fun with Ben, where it was done on Zoom, and then we still did it Facebook Live, but I didn't really worry about the camera. But we actually would have kids that I would just create a Facebook page or a Zoom page. They would log on, and every day at 1 o'clock, we would do maybe 3 different activities. Yogi would come to those activities on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And they were like little short videos that or little short games that I would play with the kids, like a lot of indoor scavenger hunts. I would tell them, hey, I need something red. Go find me something red in your house. Or I would be running an activity teaching them how to do it. That way was a lot of fun. But our lunch fun with Ben was very popular. And then we also after that, on Thursdays, I would do like games that they could make from their stuff from their house, similar to like Alex was mentioning with her Brittany or his Brittany, doing stuff like that. And then I have one of my activities leads. She's the crafty person, not me at all. But she actually did craft videos from her house. So it was crafts from home with Sarah. So they were teaching them how to do the crafts, and I was playing the games with the kids on a Zoom call where I could actually interact with them and see them face to face.
Alex, how about Akron Canton? What's your approach been to sort of keeping people engaged?
Yeah, so I took over as the marketing director and the office administrator here about a little over a year ago. And since then, even before COVID came along, I've been really trying to focus on growing our online presence and our social media following. So once all of this came about, as been discussed in March, I really took a look at trying to create more live experiences. So I mentioned a lot of these things earlier, but I'll go over them again. But things like our virtual camp out, or doing some of those bear visits using video to some of our private campers, and then doing like what we call our B&B craft show, which is Brittany and Boo Boo, and they do a lot of those activities either Wednesday or Thursday of every week. So I've really focused on creating things that people could not only do from home, but then also experience the park without fully being here. So I've been doing a lot of daily updates, taking our campers through maybe some updates or some renovations that we've been doing around the park. Gotten really good feedback, positive feedback on that. And our marketing numbers during that time just really exploded. So we're really going to continue to focus on providing our guests with just a really good guest experience and getting to know them more personally. I know all of us really focus on trying to make our guests more than a number and really get to know them as people and know their kids and what they like and why they want to camp with us. So continuing to do a lot of those live experiences where you get to do a lot of interaction, and then also providing my campers with a lot of great value by still showing them the park, showing them things that they can do from home, has been really beneficial to help keep my customers engaged during this time.
Now, but since we're talking a lot about the adjustments that have had to be made, but we're all hoping that eventually we're back to the full Jellystone experience. So I do want to give you each a chance to talk about, sort of what your individual parks hang their hats on. So we'll start with you, Alex. What do you want people to know about Akron Canton?
So for those people who really haven't been to our park before, we're definitely a bit of a smaller Jellystone in the system as a whole. Now, and we are a little bit different than some other Jellystone parks in our area. If you like a more intimate camping experience, maybe a smaller park, but still has a lot of the amenities, then we might be an option to consider, especially if you're looking for someplace around Northeast Ohio. So we have a lot of amenities for people of all different ages, especially when we're looking at kids. So our swimming pool is absolutely amazing. It's one of the largest in the state, around 500,000 gallons. We have a 44-foot water slide that you can go right down into our pool. We have a newly installed Wibbit inflatable obstacle course, and we have a zero depth entry pool, which means it basically starts at nothing, and then it can go all the way down to 14 feet at our deepest point. So that's probably our highlight amenity at the park. Some other standout amenities we offer include things like our 18-hole mini golf course, Gaga Ball, a couple of the playgrounds that are on site, and then obviously our bear visits, fire truck rides, hay wagon rides, and then all of our crafts activities and games as well. Our park is also really close to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, Derby Downs, which is a world famous racing track. Cleveland, we're actually one of the closest Jellystones to Cleveland with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the William McKinley Presidential Library, and then we're right next to the Hartwell Marketplace as well. So if you're looking for a great camping experience that is maybe a little more smaller and intimate, but still offers some great amenities, I would definitely check us out.
All right, Ben, what would you like people to know about Kozy Rest and what makes Kozy Rest special?
I think the big thing with Kozy Rest is it's, like Alex mentioned, we're a little bit smaller of a park, but just you have that family environment. Like it's just the kids like enjoy the activities, but they just stay with us throughout the day. You get to know them. You really get to know them on a one-on-one basis, really just making the kids feel special. For the last 2 years, Kozy Rest has been recognized nationally by Arvik as the Planet Green park, so a very environmental friendly park. Has won Park of the Year 4 of the last 9 years through Arvik for medium-sized park. So just one of those campgrounds that you go to and you kind of leave just saying, man, everything was like perfect, and it's a lot of hard work. And we have an amazing grounds crew that just makes sure to keep the park clean. For activities, I think that we offer just a ton of different activities. We have stuff normally. We've got activities going starting at 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, most of the time happening every 30 minutes, every hour. Basically, my job is to make sure the kids are exhausted. So whenever you guys come try to put them to bed, they're ready to go to bed and everything like that. But we just really do a great job with the activities, I think, but the cleanliness of the park, the Planet Green, so doing some of that stuff for the environment as well. And then I just think it's just a fun park. I think it's a good place to be at. People enjoy it. We just added the pizza. The pizza and wings have been great. I think I'm going to eat probably about 30 of them probably throughout the year. I'm only at 1, so I've got my countdown going on the pizza and wings from Hunt Brothers. So that's a great thing that we offer there. But Yogi and Boo Boo are always hanging around, making sure kids are having fun. So it's a great time with the Bears.
And Brittany, can you tell us something that stands out about Gloucester Point?
I mean, as everybody else said, I mean, it's kind of hard to kind of narrow it down, I think, when you're working somewhere that you're so excited to work with. We're family owned and operated. We are, like they said, a smaller park as well. We do have the pool if you want to hang out at the pool. We do have river if you want to do some fishing. We also have petting zoo and pony rides, which I know is something not every other park has. With those, all of our animals are rescues or rehomes. So we actually just started a nonprofit this year to help kind of support, and so we can help bring in more of those rescues and rehomes. So every year we have new animals pretty much coming in, giving new experiences to the kids. We actually just got a cow, so that'll be something new for the kids to check out this year. She's a total sweetheart. You know, goats, horses, miniature horses, rabbits, pigs. We've got a bunch of them, so it's a lot of fun for the kids in that aspect as well. We just also got a second jumping pool, so now we have 2 of them, so we can do just different activities on each one based off of age ranges, separate that up a little bit, because I know that was a concern for a lot of the parents. So now that's something that won't be as big of a deal. And something else we started this year was we actually have a couple of sites that have a private dog park on them. So that's something else. We're very much so pride ourselves on being animal lovers and animal friendly. So that's definitely something that kind of stands out to me about our park.
Yeah, that's definitely a fairly unique feature.
And Phil, I know that I mentioned it a little bit, but I just had one of my girls, actually Sarah, the one that I mentioned who did the crafts from home. So I figured that she could maybe give you a little bit more detail on how she handled her stuff, because she's the crafty one and not me. So
we're the team. I thought that it would be a good idea just to kind of advertise our camp and the type of crafts that we do here at home, just with the easiest things that you had just laying around. So every day around like 10, or it kind of just ranged in time, there'd be a craft posted, and it ranged from 30 seconds to the easiest to 7 minutes. They were pretty cool. They were really easy to make. So I thought that they were pretty good. They got a nice amount of views. Yeah, they were nice. So they're just easy crafts you could just do from home, anything you had laying around. So I thought that would be pretty cool to advertise and get people excited to come back to camp. But yeah.
She's the crafty one, not me. So I wanted to, she had just walked in, so I wanted to make sure she had a chance to throw her stuff on that, because I bought all my crafts, prepackaged crafts, because I'm not a crafty person at all.
Yeah. Well, hey, I want to thank each of you, Ben, Alex, Brittany, for joining us and sharing, everything that's going on at your respective parks with our Facebook group. I enjoyed this immensely. So hopefully this is something we can keep doing from time to time with different Jellystone staffers on here, and we'll talk about some different topics. But again, I want to thank you all, and hopefully you're all in for busy weekends. Ben, already for you, and then coming up for Alex and Brittany.
One thing I just want to mention is, Phil, thank you so much for doing this for us, but I know all the campgrounds, Alex and Brittany can speak of it, but just, it's going to be a little bit different this year, but just come check us out. I mean, all of us we want you guys to still have that true Jellystone experience. Me and Brittany actually have a phone call on Wednesday with the rest of the Jellystone activities directors on just trying to come up with activities. So it might be a little bit different than you guys have ever seen, but if you have a vacation already scheduled, keep those vacations scheduled, because we are working hard to make sure that you guys still have a fun time, and definitely come check out all the different Jellystones. I've never been down to Brittany, but I might be seeing Alex tomorrow. I might be going over to Ohio. He doesn't even know that. So
I did not know. I might see you tomorrow, Ben.
All right. Well, take care, everyone. And again, I'm sure we'll interact again online, and then we'll see down the road if we're jumping on for another one of these.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.